What was the first conversation with the neurosurgeon?
A lot. At the first conversation, I don't recall. You're very much in a fog, for and like I said, there was no thought process into what he looks like or really anything. It was just you were hoping he was not going to die. That was it. Once I came, it's dark, the screen too.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay. Once I came to, not him, once I came to and I was able to get my wits about myself, and we had meetings with the neurosurgeon and the staff and the doctors and nurses, I had questions to ask them. And I will not forget this day. It was the neurosurgeon, his neurosurgeon was called away, so another neurosurgeon came in, and I had my questions, and my first question was, where was he ranking on the Glasgow Coma Scale? Well, I mean, apparently they didn't expect me to be as educated as I was at that point, and the questions, and the nurse responded. And I have huge respect for nurses. My mom is a retired RN, my father was a New York City police officer, so I have respect for people in positions, and I understand how they have to distance themselves from the situation that's going on. But I was composed, had my questions, and this nurse responded. Well, I had happened to know that I had never met her, and I had met everyone thus far. So apparently this was her first shift in the morning with TJ. And I asked her that, and so what really gave her the
Can we
right...
stop a minute?
Yeah.
Trying to remember what you're saying now, but I do have to stop.
Broach on certain things of that, but...
What, that the world is not educated on brain injury? I think you should bring that up.
Is that you said the charges that are pending, are those something that have to do with the accident itself?
Mm-hmm. He touched on it a little bit as far as that, they issued a warrant and he was comatose. So failure to appear April 4th. His accident was March 22nd. So April 4th, they wanted him in court. Meanwhile, he was definitely comatose. So there's failure to appear and lots of charges. But we have an attorney and we have his neuropsychologist.
All right, we won't talk about that any further, and we'll not focus on that part of it. You were talking about the one nurse who just come on and who was the only one who responded to your question about the Glasgow Coma Scale.
Okay, what happened was definitely the one nurse responded to my question, but what annoyed me was you wait for the time period to sit down with the neurosurgeon and discuss the case at hand. And these are not appointments that you get every day. I mean, they're coming and going, and I understand all that, and you're sitting there waiting. And, it's like watching a pot of water boil. It takes, 1 minute. It feels like an hour when you're sitting there almost watching an open coffin is what it feels like. So to have a nurse respond to me to my first question, I lost it. I couldn't believe it. I said, no, you're not who I'm here to talk to. I want to know from the neurosurgeon what is going on. Where do we stand at this point? So they had to kind of take a little step back, and for anybody out there, I mean, that's my thing, that you have to take the initiative. You have to compose yourself, because they can't speak. They're lying there, and you need to find out the answers. We went in not knowing what brain injury was. When they kept saying it's going to be a long road, what do you mean a long road? I remember months later when we were at Spalding, and they said, Michelle, you're going to have outbursts. That's probably going to be an issue that you're going to have to... I had no idea what that meant. And he was beyond loving Tony and I, my husband and myself. We would walk in and hugs and kisses, and I mean, he couldn't wait. He'd be standing at the door waiting for us to come to Spalding. And what a nightmare we had that followed. TJ has very bad outbursts. So